Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is time for our. My sound is coming through. It looks like everything's fine. We're gonna get this music right out of here in just a second. Hope you like this. This is just kind of a quick little screen I've come up with, and the song is Wob Wob. It's one of my many electronic mixes that I have created. Let's go ahead. We're gonna turn it right up. We don't need that. Not right now. No, we just need to be right here. And here we are. Oh my goodness, look at us about to embark upon a magnificent journey. And it is going to be a magnificent journey. If you need them, I do have captions enabled. So go ahead, jump in the captions if you need them. Otherwise, there's going to be a quick link that I'm just dropping, and that is for my website. Why would you want to go to my website? I'm going to tell you. You want to go to my website because that is where you're going to be able to get fun things like merch, art prints, original artworks, bags, all sorts of other cool stuff. We'll talk more about it later. But we are here for Art Night. And I am your Saturday night. And what are you seeing in front of you? Depending on how you're joining me, you could be seeing a lot of different things in front of you. And let me get this light a little bit closer, because that is too far away. That's just unacceptable. We can't have the light that far away. Let's see. Hopefully that looks good. Let's turn up the intensity. I don't know. I think that light could be better. Now that looks better. Now it looks better. Here we go. So we are here to do some drawing. You're going to see a couple of pictures, though, up here and here on the side. And what are these? Well, what are these two pictures up here? Let me tell you, those are the first two illustrations and kind of concept drawings for the Engineer, which is my new character. Now, I already have a little sketch work done up because I wanted to have a nice start for this piece. You know, you want to be able to have a nice start before you get started on your art. And let's talk about some things that we know about the Engineer as I get going. Because I'm not going to make you wait. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to be having a good time already. You know, that's part of the... How do I put it? It's part of the good time. Then we need to just jump in here. So let's discuss the Engineer, or things that we know already about the Engineer. And feel free at any point in time to ask questions in the chat. Or if you have a thought to contribute, because this character is still being built. This is not a complete character. You obviously see, so the top drawing up in the upper right hand corner, that is the first sketch on the side. And then right below that is last week's rendering, as the character is developed more and refined. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start right off. And I have, obviously, some ideas for this character, some thoughts, things like that. But I haven't really been getting deep in it just yet. I've been allowing things to occur at a very natural rate. And part of that natural rate, part of that reasoning behind that, is because I want the character to develop in its own way, in its own time. So I've been really slow in the starting process. As far as really doing anything. Right now, the only facts about this character are in, well, you know, their kind of nickname right now, which is the Engineer. On top of that, we have a rough idea that, you know, they're someone well educated. We have a sci-fi theming. And I actually think that sci-fi theming is really important to what would be the overall final kind of theme. But a lot of this, again, really early stages. So I'm just kind of doing some lines here, getting some shaping in, and not really putting too much emphasis on any single quality just yet. And, you know, but that's fine, right? That's part of our adventure. It's part of our adventure. So the concept, the intrinsic base concept for the Engineer is this idea of a more sci-fi heavy character, but also trying to develop aspects of that character. Trying to really bring home a fully formed character. Now, for a lot of my drawings, I end up not necessarily having really fully formed characters. I end up just having concepts. You know, we might have some scenery, we might have some basic colorations or a theme. And I really think that this character in particular, you know, she needs to have more substance. She needs to have more to her. I also don't want to get stuck in a single way of representing her. So I'm going to get used to the concept that I can show her in different stages. So you can see in the first drawing, she's wearing her kind of very super retro sci-fi helmet and uniform. You can see that most of the elements of the uniform remained the same when we got to the second drawing. But I was already going ahead and giving her the freedom to be different in that second drawing. You know, she doesn't have her classic retro sci-fi helmet. She doesn't have kind of the more, because the first one she's just in like a pose, just anything, you know. She doesn't have a lot of shape to her body, but she does have a lot of early details to the uniform itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dress down version, because in the uniform you can actually see that there's kind of an outer garment and then some sleeves and an inner garment. So here I'm going to try to do her a little more dressed down, but we're going to keep a lot of the elements. It's just going to be an alternate uniform because I want to play with these ideas. I don't want them to get stale. I have a bunch of different pencils. We're going to need them all. I mean, I figure that we will end up needing all of our pencils. We will end up needing, you know, everything that's at our disposal to really realize our character the best we can. But I need to start thinking about stuff like the engineer's personality. I need to start giving consideration to who she is as a person. I need to really begin the build. And one of the things about building a character is you need to really think about things that you necessarily, well, I won't say necessary, but things that you wouldn't always think about with other types of creative processes. So yeah, we're just gonna be exploring for a little bit. I'm not necessarily going to be super hard and fast on any of this because I'm still developing what will be the style, but I kind of think I am developing some manner of style, some manner of very specific shaping and body frame. You know, I know at the bare minimum, I kind of know those features. I know what kind of her body type is. I know that, you know, I wanted the longer hair, and in the second drawing, she has it all pulled back in a ponytail, but a bunch of it's falling forward. So now I kind of want to play with, like, okay, maybe she has a lot more hair than that. So that's one of the things we're doing here. I'm giving her more hair. And because I'm giving her more hair, she's going to definitely already have a lot different aesthetic. But I can start playing with some of the stylized concepts. You need to have some sort of... what is the word I'm looking for? You need to have some sort of kind of visual markers that people can use to say, oh yeah, that is clearly this character. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing, is trying to develop out some of those very clear visual attributes of her. I don't have to get bogged down in certain key features. At the same time, I do have to really start considering some of those key features. Like, what is the language of this style? And how will the engineer look? Granted, I've already stated, this is a sci-fi character. With that in mind, I have a lot of freedom with certain aspects of her. But I don't just have a lot of freedom with like certain aspects of her. I also have a lot of freedom with how I can portray her. Portray. How I can portray her. And what makes sense for my visual language. I'm not going to really mind too much if some of my detailings are not perfect. Because one of the biggest things that I want to do is just do more development. Do more development. So there's certain aspects of everything from the uniform to the body shape. What's normal? What is normal for her? And also it today is going to give me the chance to play with ideas like what portions of this uniform are easy to take off of, or easy to take off, what portions aren't. Actually, I already don't like that. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that right now. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. I need to really consider some of these silhouette forms here. Not just consider the silhouette forms, but what's going on, how I want to display it. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. This is something I'm just going to do now because I feel like it. Alright, yeah, this is going to work out. I'm about to give her a lot more hair. A lot more hair. I will just play with that a bit. So what can you do to make this a better character? Let me start to give you an idea, because that is what I want. I want to improve this character as we move along. I want the chance to really be exploratory. When it comes to stuff like this, stuff that's like high sci-fi, maybe not even high sci-fi, but stuff that's really conceptual, you need to understand that you're making the rules. And because you're making the rules, you can also decide what rules you can break. And not just decide what rules you can break, but decide which rules are important, how you want to go about enforcing those rules. So we are making rules for the engineer. Her hair is actually like a ridiculous mess right now. I need to simplify this. I don't know what's going on anymore. She has a lot of hair, but that just looks way too unkempt. So some of our lines here are going to be real messy. And that's fine. You know, we're building. That looks good. I like that. I really should have had a couple of brushes out today. Brushes can be just so unbelievably useful when you're doing work like this. I want those really kind of soft, curved eyebrows. I like the way they look. I don't know. There's something about them, they just look better. And because that hairline just looks weird, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get some of those in there. We need some flyaways. Flyaways, I think, also add a good bit of realism. If you have long hair, you probably deal with flyaways. Time to get this. So first things first, we're going to use a Q-tip, and I'm going to start getting some of these darks blended into this really, really long, nice hair. From here, there will be some of this. So the good thing about the fact that I put charcoal and graphite down, and now I'm doing this, is I'm going to get a really nice kind of blend. And what I can do after that is I can come in with my eraser And I can take off some of the bits that don't look so good to me. But I can also do this, and I can start to create streaks of highlight. This is one of the reasons that you're going to want to have a brush of some sort. But if you have Q-tips, which I use for blenders, you can actually kind of go backward through the hair. I'm going to use my hand a little bit here. It's going to look messy. That's fine. We don't mind. Get my smudger here. Smudger is actually really useful for some of these tasks. Little smudge sticks and things like that. They just have so many different uses. Trying to do as much as I can to really start building our face up and getting a nice aesthetic for that. Work on our uniform here. Take some of the dark out of that. So I hope that you're having a really nice weekend. If you celebrate, happy Easter weekend. If you don't celebrate, just happy weekend. Very aware not everyone celebrates, but if you do, just I hope you have a great Easter weekend. And if you don't, I just hope you have a great weekend. Getting a lot better face this time around. Little things like using this smudger, this smudge stick like I'm doing, is going to help with kind of the final look. But I want to put some kind of semi-dynamic shadow in. Nothing major, just some stuff to really help the face pop and really improve, again, just our overall look. Now, I have already established that she has some of those, some shorter hair towards the front. So even if her hair is pushed back on the one side, we know she has long hair in the back because of the ponytail in the second rendering. I do want to keep that long hair. That's just part of the overall thing I want to keep. A couple adjustments in here. I don't think the hand's going to end up really good in this one, but we're going to accept that. You know? It'll be fine. We're still going to end up in a really good position. At least I think so. So there's a couple of features that I do want to carry over, but we are in, less of the uniform is on right now. So maybe it's a casual uniform for this one. I don't know. We're going to keep some of the physical not physical. We're going to keep some of the featuring of the uniform from the others, but it's going to be like some other version of that. Some other version. So let's just keep kind of messing around here. See what we can end up with. I do like the idea that the uniform, no matter what, is always kind of like an over jacket and then another uniform below that. I just like the way that just appeals to me, So we're doing some of that right here. Gloves, I think, are always going to be part of the uniform. So we're going to try to incorporate those again. Little finger blending there. Nothing too much. Alright. So, again, we're trying to incorporate similar elements. We're going to just assume that this is a different version of the uniform. We've seen at least 2 already, but, we're still in the refining. Still really getting that all to work out. And we're still going to go ahead and do some things to try to explore how that uniform actually looks, what are portions of it, and you can see I'm kind of going back and forth between smudging and line work. I actually like the idea that we're just going to kind of have a semi-gray base to all of this. And I'm going to achieve that with graphite one way or another. Is this going to be my best piece? Probably not. You know what it is going to be, though? Fun. And I think that that is just as important when it comes to a good drawing. We need to be having fun in our art. and in our lives in ways that kind of just improve everything overall. So yeah, we're having, I don't know, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right, I'm gonna put a couple of things in here now. So I'm gonna take this yellow that I had used beforehand, and I'm gonna put some of the highlights of the uniform color in. You know, we know there's certain areas of it that carry certain colors. But since this is a slightly different version, we're not going to have as much of the color shift. Or actually, no, we're just not going to have as much of the really delineated, hard transitions in the panels. This is a different style for the uniform. And the best way to show that, you know, is to kind of play with what that means. Less hard paneling, more playfulness as we shift between our colors. You know, we're only 36 minutes in, and we already have done, like, a lot here. So, let's keep going. Whew. I can't believe that we're only 36 minutes in, and this is where we are. Again, I'm going to be using 2 different yellows to really emphasize certain aspects of the uniform. And make sure that it doesn't look flat. Give it kind of some texture. Some variations. Now from here, since we're using the colored pencils, we're going to start to add in some of the blue on the jacket portion, because that is one portion that kind of carries some color. And I do want to make sure that we're getting all that color in there. So, instead of having hard panel transitions, like distinct hard lines, I'm going to be going ahead and trying to utilize sectioning. Which I think might end up looking really cool to get kind of sections in on here. So I started off with just a sky blue, but now I'm going to use this kind of semi-dark blue. Maybe it's as a purple, I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know, because this could be a purple. And if it is, that's fine. I am actually not going to be all that concerned with whether or not it's a purple. I am using it to create darker shadow areas. You know, emphasize some portions and some shadows and put in some depth. But now that we have that, I'm going to grab a different blue. And I'm going to kind of get that into a few sections as well. So using the multiple blues, again, to create areas of tonal difference and just some variation. Tonal difference, variation. So yeah, so far so good, I think, because we're on to what will be the third version of the Engineer, a continuation of building onto this character, and just all around a really nice jump up in style. I think it's a jump up in style. So yeah, we're jumping between colored pencil, graphite, charcoal. Depending on when you're joining me, you will see a link in either the description of the video or in the chat where you can visit my website if you want to check out my abstract art, any of my portraiture or kind of my more graphic work. See my various I have so many different things that you can get. So I'm just going to say you should check it out. How about that? And when I say that, of course, I'm going to have some cats in the background who are being naughty. So shout out really quick to Naughty Cats. Shout out to Naughty Cats. You gotta shout out to the Naughty Cats, right? Or at least you should. Our pets love us, and they really deserve that acknowledgement. And I do my best to call out the kitties when I can. You know, just let them know that their mischief is not undervalued. Their mischief is very valued, and you know, I care about their little kitty lives. Now, we're just gonna need to brighten up some of this because it looks like we got some smudging up here where I didn't want any. That's better. Alright. But we do have to account for a couple things here. So just a little bit of detail work on the nose. And part of that detail work is just making sure that, you know, things have shadow and emphasis where they should have shadow and emphasis. So we're going to go ahead and get the smudger again. Making sure that everywhere that should be shaded is shaded. Honestly, I think this is looking pretty good. Feel free at any point in time, put it in the chat what you think, how you doing, what you're up to, how your weekend has gone or is going. I'm really enjoying like this continuation of exploration. That's what we're getting right now. Exploration. I would love to hear people's thoughts and opinions. I really want the like some of the essence of some of these characters I make to have, that feeling of we did this together. So I'm trying as best as I can to make sure that you have a chance to be involved in those levels of this. Oh yeah, this is good. I don't know what you think, but I'm having a good time. And we still have a long way to go. Part of me wants to get another piece of paper because I've already come so far on this one drawing. And then just really try to play with something else. But I don't know. I don't know yet. We're going to find out one way or another. We are going to have fun with this. I can't believe, the amount of stuff that I can actually do with these characters is really good. And when I say these characters, I mean like all the characters that I've been making. Whether it's on, whether it's in my writing or in my YouTube videos or here on live. There, just one little. No, we want that actually. I need the other pencil. Because that. There we go. Now it's like messy hair. Messy. We can't just have one though. I don't know. I just kind of like the way that looks right now. That looks kind of cool. It's playing up some of that individuality here. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on this. What do you think? So from the first two renders until now, I would love to hear what you think, your thoughts and opinions on the ever-expanding engineer. Oh, maybe that mouth wasn't improved by that. Maybe it was. We're just going to say maybe it was. Maybe that mouth was just improved. But I do have to come back through. And, there's just some stuff in here I want to do really quick. So we're going to do this. Peel back some of these layers. Because that is what we do. We peel back layers. Already, that's just like, woo. Alright, but now that I've done that, I do have to go in here really quick. Because this is really like messy engineer. Like, her hair is entirely flopped and fallen, and it's just disheveled. She's just a mess. But because of that, I'm really gonna have to put in some work on this. Oof. Yeah. That's what we're gonna have to do. If you want to do the art, you gotta do the work. There we go. Is it the best version out of the three? No. But I can see where stylistically this has a lot of improvement. I can also see a couple things already that I want to do. But I clearly now have two base versions of the uniform. So the first two drawings are essentially the same uniform, just one without the helmet. This third one is clearly a different version of the uniform. You know, certain aspects are no longer part of the uniform. Other aspects have been just refined more. And we're really starting to craft some sort of style. So now we have these first three versions. I kind of, yeah, I really think that I need to go ahead and think on what else I could change. This is an ever-evolving style. This is an ever-evolving and changing conceptualization. One thing that I'm kind of thinking, because we have those extra pieces, but on the other uniforms, they look like they serve specific purposes when it's in its space mode. So, with that in mind, I'm not going to really hold myself to the standards of that has to be. You know, we're still developing. We're still developing a finalized style. I don't know. I'm going to give this a lot of thought. But with each adaptation, you know, we're getting a better character. Like a much better character. If you have been enjoying this new style of Art Night, make sure you are leaving a comment in the chat or on a comment on the video on YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're seeing it. It's also on Twitter, so you can have the opportunity to leave it there as well. I think this has been a really good drawing session. Wherever could we go from here? What do you think? And if you have any ideas, any opinions, I really want to hear them as we continue to develop forward. One of the things I'd really love is to get some ideas about a background, more information about a background. Let's think about some qualities for the engineer. She doesn't even have like a real name yet. She's just the engineer. And that in itself, we can't even let that stand. That cannot stay like that. That's silliness. She is a person. So she should probably have an actual name. Which you can help with these details. You can help with these details. You can help make it happen. But we've just gone ahead and done all of that. Because we've done all of this, I'm going to go ahead. Because we still have half an hour, and I don't want to ruin this drawing. I think it's come along very well. I'm going to find some paper. Ooh, that was uncomfortable. We still have some time. I have a blank sheet of paper, so we're going to do a little more sketch work. That's happening. Just one second. I'm gonna have to change your visual for a minute here. And we're gonna keep going. But I have to change up what you're seeing. So that we can keep the party going. Alright. We're going to drop that right out of your sight again. I have a lot of visuals that I can use. But, I will bring that other drawing back. But, let's just go ahead. We're going to keep going forward because we can. Keep going forward because we can. Actually, I'm going to throw that back there for a second. And then, this is going to be fun if I can do it right. Because I kind of want to attempt... We're just trying something here, so bear with me. But I think it'll be worth it. So that we can just keep doing the fun stuff. I mean, I want to try to keep doing the fun stuff. That just to me is like the best thing in the world. Do the fun stuff. So let's see if we can. This might get a little weird looking for a minute, so bear with me. Oh yeah, that's weird looking. This is how you keep things fresh, though. This is how you make sure that you're always like completely in your zone. Do things on your toes. Understand that you might have to fiddle. You know, and that's how it's going to go. So we're just going to do that. Stick that right up there. Because this is, now the third drawing in the series for this character. That works for now. That totally works. That's our third drawing. We've done a couple. Now we've done a third. We still have time. So before I run out of time today, let's go ahead and just do one more thing. Let's do one more thing. All right. I give you no guarantees that this is going to come out good. And honestly, if it doesn't, that's fine. Because we're going off the cuff. We are going off the cuff. All right. So. All right. Let's see, it's right there. We're going to have a few lines here really quick, but that's kind of par for the course. All right. You got to do some lines sometimes first. My everything here might not end up perfect, but I should be able to come up with something that looks nice. You just got to kind of decide on a few things first. And then once you've decided upon them, you can kind of roll from there. No, actually, that's not down enough. We're going to go big. I'm going to go big. And then our chin is going to be right there, which means our eyes should be roughly... Okay, we're going to do that. Then we're going to get some eyes in here. Now, hopefully I can do this well enough that we can get kind of like a base drawing going really fast. I'm not committing to this one thing, but I am going to go ahead and have some fun with it. So let's go ahead. We're going to do that. We already know a few key important details. But, let's just go for it. Actually, don't like that lip shape, but we're still playing. That's it. We're still playing. And then, really want to make sure that I have the right kind of thing going on here. Sometimes all you need is a rough idea of the proportions of the face, and then you are good to go. There's a reason that I don't usually draw these in front of people. It's because they can go wrong really quick. And because they can go wrong really quick, it's like, how much of this skill do I really need to show all of you? But this is just part of stuff that I do. So let me just tell you a quick important factor about faces. They are never, ever, ever symmetrical. No matter how perfect you think someone is, their face is not only not symmetrical, it's not even close to symmetrical. And since everyone's faces get like really, really kind of specific, and since no two sets of features are ever the same, you have so much freedom, it's kind of wacky. Like the sheer amount of freedom you have in a face. So there are some things I'm going to do really quick because obviously there's just stuff on here I don't need. So, we've done one drawing. Anyone who wants to see that, I'll grab it. But, I have the 3 drawings for my character up in the corner. And we have done a drawing for this stream. And now I'm just kind of filling out some of my extra time for the stream. Because that is something that we get to do. We have the ability to create the world how we wish. We don't have to be 100%. We don't have to be 50%. We don't have to be anything but what is best for us. So I'm just going to go into a quick segue because I think it's an appropriate idea. When it comes to certain aspects of art and to life, you really have to trust no one but yourself. And you don't have to be realistic. And you don't have to be measured. And you don't need to judge every single thing that you're doing. And you don't have to care if it's right or wrong. You just have to create. So here is going to be my ultimate quick sketch. And I don't mean ultimate as in best. I just mean, I'm trying to use up the remainder of today's show to do something fun. And gosh darn it, I'm going to. We're getting into what could be considered the truly more abstract flavors of my sketch and my design. So yeah, we're just doing a quickie. Just a little quickie. Why? Because it's fun. You need to do things like that. You need to bust out quick little fun things. I think that's enough of that for now, though. Let me just go ahead. I want to grab tonight's actual drawing, bust it out here. That was like a 10-minute face. But here's our actual drawing for the evening that we did. The Engineer number 3, you can see the third version of the Engineer has already been added to our roster up in the corner of sketches. This has been a whole lot of fun. So, thank you everyone who has joined me. Thank you for everyone who's been here. I realize we got kind of a little bit silly at the end, but let me talk to you for a few minutes about some things which I think are really important. So thing number 1, depending on where you're joining me, either in the chat or in the description of the video, there is going to be a link for my website. Why do you want to go to my website? Let me tell you. You want to go to my website because that is where you can get shirts, sweaters, leggings, sketchbooks, art bags, prints of my artwork, as well as original pieces. And why do you want to get that? Because without your support, this show can't go on. Actually, I said that a little bit too dire. Let me rephrase that. Your support, not just in showing up, but in reposting and reacting, your support in getting things like my merch or throwing out bits on Twitch, whatever you do, all that support helps go a long way to allowing me to continue to create videos such as this. And here's a quick little reminder. No matter where you are, make sure you're hitting that bell, you're following, you're subscribing, and you're sticking along for the journey. Art is my passion. It's my life. I write, I draw, I paint, and I share it all with all of you. None of my passions or my talents are mine alone. They belong to us. And because it belongs to all of us, I want to do whatever I can to share it. And if you can help support that dream, it would mean the world to me. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end today's stream a little bit early. I'm going to get some of that music playing. Hey, and by the way, the song that was playing for my intro, that is actually Wub Wub by me, because I make electronic music, and that is one of my pieces. So, you've been here for your Saturday night. I want you to take care. I want you to be excellent. I will see you all again soon. Enjoy your weekend, and if you celebrate Easter, have a happy Easter. All right, take care, and I will see you all again, very soon.